Hi everybody, I'm Ryan, and today we're going to talk about how to sideboard with Azorius Artifacts against the top 10 most popular decks in Standard. If you're looking for an overall look at the deck, I posted a deck tech and why you should play the deck at some point last week. You should definitely check that out. Today we're just focusing on the sideboard, so let's jump into it. Look, I found an artifact, a double dagger. Whoa, this is black and red, not Azorius. Come on. So this is the Azorius Artifacts deck. As far as the sideboard goes, playing authority of the console is to turn off hasty creatures. Get Lost has a pretty unconditional removal and decent enchantment hate. Rest in Peace has graveyard hate. Temporary Lockdown as a way to get rid of those small creatures, the go wide stuff. Also something we can grab off of United Battlefront. Negate to be able to fight non-creature spells on the stack. And the Stone Brain to take out combo decks or any decks that rely on any specific cards, especially if they're a little bit slower. So the most popular deck in Standard is It Prowess. Against Is It Prowess, we're bringing in the authority of the consoles, pretty obviously. The temporary lockdowns are decent as well. And also the Get Lost just has additional removal is really nice. And we're going to be taking out everything that either doesn't kill our opponents or let us survive longer. So Cryptocoat hits the bin. Clay-Fired Bricks hits the bin. Gain 2 life is kind of nice, but meh. We're going to get rid of Repurposing Bay. Thousand Moon Smithy can hit the bin. And we're going to cut Kayla's Reconstruction and just become a really, really focused stop what our opponent is doing, eventually kill them deck. This is our sideboarding against Is It Prowess. The second most popular deck is Azorius Omniscience. Against this deck, we're bringing in Rest in Peace to stop their combo. We're going to negate the Stone Brain because if we can get rid of Omni or River Regent, probably River Regent we'd name, the game's pretty much over. And then Get Lost because there is a possibility of interrupting the combo or stopping the dragon aggro, or things like that. And this way we're going to pretty much do the opposite sideboard of taking out all the things that stop the aggro stuff, because the aggro stuff doesn't matter. We just need to kill our opponent as fast as possible. So this is our sideboarding against Azorius Omni. The third most popular deck in Standard is Jeskai Oculus. Against Oculus, I think we're obviously bringing in the Rest in Peace so they can't combo us. It turns off fear of missing out, and whatnot. Get Lost is pretty decent. They go pretty tall on their creatures, so that really, really matters. We're going to be taking out High Noon. High Noon just doesn't matter against this deck. And then Shaven on Candy Trail. It's important that we match them in power level, and Candy Trail is just a cycler. And so this is how we're sideboarding against Jeskai Oculus. The fourth most popular deck is Mono Red Aggro. I think we're going to sideboard really similar against Mono Red as we do against Cutter because we're attacking the matchup in a really similar way, taking out these cards. High Noon's only fine against this deck, so I'm going to take out 2 High Noon instead of 2 of the Clay-Fired Bricks. I think gaining life is a little bit more important, but otherwise we are going to sideboard the same way. And this is how we're sideboarding against Mono Red. The fifth most popular deck is Jeskai Control. Against Jeskai Control, we bring in the negates, and the Stone Brain is pretty good because, if they can't do crazy stuff with like Shiko or whatever, it's really hard for them to win in a reasonable amount of time. And we're going to be taking out the cards that stop them from being super aggressive, and this is how we're sideboarding against Jeskai Control. The sixth most popular deck is Black-White Bounce. Against the Black-White Bounce deck, we're bringing in Temp Lockdown because it gets rid of a lot of the enchantments that they benefit from bouncing. Get Lost is decent against the deck. And really, we just need to do what we're doing. I don't think the spot removal, especially the repetitive spot removal like Braided Net, is very good. And so we're going to take out Braided Net. High Noon doesn't really do anything, and then an amount of spring-loaded Saw Blades. This is how I'm sideboarding against Orzhov Pixie. The seventh most popular deck is 4-color Zur, Domain Overlords, whatever you want to call it. Get Lost is decent enchantment hate and can deal with their creatures. They have a lot of non-creature spells, so Negate is decent. And then the Stone Brain has a lot of really, really good targets, whether it be White Overlord or Zur or whatever. And we're going to be taking out a lot of the removal because they're effectively a control deck against us. High Noon doesn't do anything. This is how we're sideboarding against 4-color Overlords. The eighth most popular deck is Dimir Midrange. Spot removal is pretty decent against this deck, and that's pretty much it. It's really hard to sideboard against Dimir. We just have to do our thing that is more powerful than their thing. We're going to take out High Noon. This doesn't really do anything against the deck, and this is how we're sideboarding against Dimir. The next most popular deck is Esper Pixie. Against Esper Pixie, Negate is actually a little bit better because countering things like Storm Chaser's Talon or Stock Up or This Town Ain't Big Enough is actually very powerful. Otherwise, we're bringing in the Temp Lock down for the same reason as the other deck. High Noon doesn't do much at all, so we're going to be taking that out. Also not the biggest fan in the world of spot removal against the deck, so this is how we are sideboarding against Esper Pixie. And finally, the 10th most popular deck in Standard is Mono Black Demons, Mono Black Midrange, whatever you want to call it. We're bringing in Get Lost. And that's pretty much it. We kind of have to treat this sort of like the Dimir mid-range deck. High Noon doesn't do much, and so this is how we're sideboarding against Mono Black. There you have, had a sideboard against the top 10 most popular decks in Standard with Azorius Artifacts. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.